CQ, 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 the old friends net. CQ, the old friends net, 160 meters. This is N4LQ in Shelby, North Carolina. The name is Steve. The old friends net is an amplitude modulation net that is conducted in the round table fashion. We are taking check-ins now. Call N4LQ if you'd like to participate. Anybody's welcome.
N4LQ, this is K4QE.
W4JPL.
Tony and John, good evening. Anybody else want to check in? All right, excuse me, got a frog here. Before we go too far, I want to get an audio report, see if everything's okay on this end. What you think, Tony?
Short is so heavy, it makes the copy a little difficult tonight.
All right, John, can you tell anything?
Yes, I get the same thing here. It sounds okay to me, but again, there's a whole bunch of QRN out there tonight.
Yeah, I can't do much about that. Well, I'm just running 100 watts. Or actually 112. So anyway, anybody else want to check in? It's N4LQ. Yeah, we got the same thing we had last night. Storms out in the ocean. Looks like they're all out that way too, which is kind of disappointing. You would think that they would just have better things to do than go out there and make QRN. But they're hundreds of miles away. I mean, you know, they're all the way down in the Cuba, down in that area too. So let's see, you don't see anything out west really, just southeast of us mostly. Anyway, running the bay did a bunch of work on the audio today and just trying it out. It's sitting here out of the cabinet, but I'm wondering if I can get a report from somebody that can copy me a little bit better. I do have the LMAX sitting here waiting in the wings just in case, and I can turn the amplifier on with it. It's been a beautiful day, but I've been sitting here in the shack most of the day playing with radios, trying to melt solder and make a lot of smoke and everything. So go ahead, Tony. K4QE, N4LQ.
All right, Steve, real good. N4LQ in a group from K4QE. Yeah, not typical stuff going on here tonight. I had a meeting with the president of the local astronomy club yesterday. We were supposed to meet on Saturday, but that didn't happen. We asked if we could delay it till Sunday, which we did. So took care of business. And well, as you know, I was on the 3715 net by 4 o'clock. So and today was just the usual fanfare. Not a lot going on. Just the usual, and slog through it. Ready for migration of a rather complex system, and had a few meetings about that today, and but not a whole lot of change. I'm in the midst of migrating data over bit by bit using Windows Robocop. Set up to run every night between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. so I don't disturb the business day. And I ran a test run over the weekend. They were all successful, so I went ahead and deployed it on 5 other servers today, and we'll see how that plays out. I got turned up for data to move, so that's a long once it's done. So that's after the first pass is complete, it'll just do the changes afterwards. So it's all good. It'll save me time when the final happens, a lot of time. So other than that, that's about it from here. So over to you, John. W4QE.
All right, K4QE, W4 GPL. Well, again, good evening, Steve. Hope you're doing all right today. Same stuff, same old for me. Been working on the house, a few projects, and let's see, went to the dump, took the trash out, and then went and got a cheesy burger at McDonald's, and that was about my day. So it's a never-ending series of projects, keeps going and going and going. So that's all that's going on with me. Over to you, Steve. W4 JPL.
All right, W4 JPL and 4LQ. Sounds good. Anybody else want to check in? I saw a carrier there and then a carrier down there and moving around. Let's try again.
Sounds like somebody's thinking about it.
Yeah, somebody's struggling. They're down, then they're up in the middle, and no audio. We'll keep trying. Well, it sounds like you guys had a good time today. Well, wife and I and the dogs went to Wendy's today for some reason. She wanted a hamburger, so we went and got a hamburger. She gets a baked potato, and I got a bowl of chili with, and they didn't give me any crackers, and that was disappointing. And they didn't give me any spoon to eat the chili with, which is a good thing that the XYL keeps an arsenal of stuff like that in the truck. We have napkins and straws and spoons and forks and knives and everything. She keeps them all neat and in order so we can find them, because half the time the people at these places don't bother to put them in for some reason. So yesterday we went to Hardee's and got some chicken wraps, and I've never seen a chicken wrap, but that was a wrapped chicken. Then she wanted to go to Subway and get one of their new foot-long cookies, or chocolate chip cookies. They're a foot long, and I went in there and stood in line for 15 minutes. And when I got to finally got to the counter, the guy said, "Oh, we're out of those. Sorry." So, oh boy, I was just as happy as I could be. Yeah. So anyway, let's see if we can pull that other guy in. Who is the mystery carrier? N4LQ.
Hey, Steve. How copy? Kilo Romeo 4 India, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Extremely well. KO4I in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I didn't get the name, but we'll get that next. Go ahead and make a transmission and give it back to me.
Yeah, sure. It's Chris here. The call is Kilo Romeo 4 India. Yeah, we talked about, I don't know, probably a year or two ago. I was watching your videos on creating end-fed half-wave antennas. So what tuned me in on this frequency, I saw you pop up on YouTube with because I'm following your channel, I believe, must be, at any rate, I saw you pop up with the AM net, so hadn't done that in a while. Thought I'd give it a try, and I don't know how long I'll be able to hold it, but I'm using a 3-core 49-to-1 on this frequency, so it's probably going to overheat here in a short time. At least I hope it. Maybe it won't. Back to you. Over.
Okay, Chris, that's interesting. Yeah, I use 3 cores here, but I'm using 290 diameter, which is like almost 3 inches. They got it's a little bigger, and it's 43 mix, and it's not 49-to-1 for 160. It's actually 100-to-1. So I've got 3 primary and 30 secondary turns. Impedance is really high on the end of a 160 antenna that's down. Mine's kind of low. It's only 100 feet high. And believe it or not, that is a little bit low. So the lower it is, the higher the impedance gets. So good to have you tonight. And your signal is like 50/9, real strong. So when you come back, we do a round table here, as you know. So let me first check to see if anybody else is here, and then we'll turn it back around again. Any N4LQ? Anybody else? All right. So go ahead again, Tony, and hopefully things are getting better. Boy, Chris is really strong here, and he's a KR4I in Fayetteville. Go ahead, Tony.
All right, very good. Well, welcome aboard, Chris, KR4I. You're plenty strong here. My name is Tony. I'm located near Liberty, North Carolina, and just south of Greensboro. And sound great here. And I'll pass on over to John, W4JPL, K4QE.
Okay, K4QE in the group, W4JPL. Well, hello to you, Chris. This is John. I'm W4JPL, also in Liberty. We're Liberty Brothers. So we're about 4 or 5 miles apart. And I'm running an ICOM 7610, pumping up a little bit with an Alcraft KPA 500, and just running a full-size halfway dipole on 160. I will be on with a boat anchor sooner or later, probably sooner than later. I've got my Valiant ready to go, but I've got a National 303 I just restored downstairs and ready to go. I just got to get it up here and get it hooked up to the Valiant, get that heavy SX1018 out of the way. And Steve, there's a lot of thunderstorm activity off the coast of Charleston. That's probably what's getting us with the noise. I guess I'll turn it to Chris. KR4I W4JPL.
Yeah, well, thank you, John. Yeah, I'm copying a lot of QRN here. Well, very good on the boat anchors. I haven't been in back in the hobby long. I've been licensed since probably 2000 or 99 time frame, and just got back into it in about 2019. But really got into it hard. I got a 7610 as well, and the antenna is a in-fed half-wave. It's a 49-to-1 Vallum, and Steve, it's a 240-43 mix, 240-43 3-core, and it does good. I mean, I do a little bit of contesting on 160 meters from time to time, but not, real light stuff. So I haven't done AM much, but running an amplifier. So I've got an RF kit solid state amp, and it's peaking about 1100 on the swing, about 200 watts on the carrier. So that's what I'm running, and yeah, just saw you on YouTube transmitting the old AM net here, and I figured I'd try it. I don't do a lot of AM, so it really piqued my interest. So I ran out to the shop to get on the air. So I guess it goes back to you, Steve. N4LQ, KR4I.
Okay, KR4I in the gang, N4LQ. Do we have anybody wanting to check in? Call now. Okay, well, I'm running an ancient Johnson Valiant. Probably, hang on a second here. You can probably hear the horn beep. I'm next to the garage, and sometimes my key fob will hit my knife or something in my pocket and set that thing off and set off the alarm in the car. So anyway, I've been messing around with this Valiant all day long, and I like the sound of the LMAC better, so I just tore out the front end of the modulator and replaced it with an LMAC modulator. So it's all different now, and hoping it sounds halfway decent. It seems to. It's hard to listen to yourself in the shack because of the RF interference and so forth. Well, yeah, on 160, normally you use 3 turns on the primary, and 21 would give you 49 to 1, but I ran it on up to 30 and got a better match. And 3/4 is plenty. It doesn't even get warm. I've run full legal power on AM for long periods of time, and you don't feel any warmth at all in the core. Only on 80 meters with the 80 meter infed do you get some heat, and that's where I use the 52 mix. But yeah, I use 3 to 30 ratio and a 200 picofarad across the primary, and my SWR is flat here on 160. When I run an amp on AM, I use my AL82, but any other mode, I use my RF kit, RF2KS also, so it's and 7610. So we got identical equipment there, Chris, and it's good stuff, no doubt about it. I just like for AM, it's a vintage mode, and I use vintage equipment and feel good about it. And most of the guys that check into the net on the 75 meters are running vintage equipment also. So I got a few items here that I like to put on the air, and I like to trade them around, and kind of reminds me of the old days back when I started back in the early 60s into the ham radio. So I'm glad to hear you're about ready to get that station converted to a real radio, John. The 303 and I guess the Valiant, maybe. So, Tony, go ahead. K4QE, N4LQ.
All right. N4LQ in the group from K4QE. Yeah, well, Chris, you got a real nice signal here. Sounds great. I'm running an ICOM 7851 into a Mercury Lux Linear, about 300 watt carrier into a homebrew fan dipole for 160, 80, and 40. The apex is sitting on my tower up about 45 feet. And yeah, so there you go. Now I'm also going through a tuner, AT5K tuner, just to smooth things out because the amplifier is a bit sensitive to SWR, so gotta get it as flat as I can. But yeah. Oh, and I'm using a PR781 mic. So I have some boat anchors here. I don't have them on the air, but I do have them. A couple of them are sitting in my garage. I got one sitting right outside the door of my office here, and I got another one out in my shed, which has been sitting there for quite a number of years, too many years. And that's about it. So we're glad to have you with us, and hope you'll continue to join us. And over to you, John, W4JPL. This is K4QE.
I hear somebody down in the noise, Steve.
I don't know. Is somebody else out there wanting to check in? Come now. I don't hear anything, John.
I got my filter open to 10 kc, so that's why. All right, K4QE, W4JPL, and Dark Liberty. It's not very sunny out right now, that's for sure. Then again, it's 20 after 8 at night. What am I thinking? And it's February. So, I've got some boat anchors here. Chris, that's my passion right now, rebuilding these things and putting them on the air since I retired. And my pride and joy is I've got a Johnson 500. And unfortunately, it doesn't go on 160, but boy, oh boy, on 75, it's a cat's meow. It just sits there, looks pretty on the desk, and a power supply sitting on a little dolly underneath the desk. And I told my wife when I die, just put that in the hole with me. KR4I W4JPL.
Yeah, W4JPL KR4I. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's good. That's good because those great things, man. We want to take them with us for sure. Well, cool deal, and good for you on the 7851, Tony. That's I think everybody aspires to have that someday. I'm also running the same mic, the PR781. So I don't know how I sound on AM. I've never heard myself, but I hope it sounds good. But I do have to get out of here. I just wanted to get in for a short time and say hello to Steve and you guys, and he put that on YouTube. I thought that was pretty slick. It's like, well, let me go out and see if you guys are still on the air, and you were, so even the better. So I'm going to go back and look at Steve's YouTube and see what I sound like. And Steve, good deal on the amp and the radio. Yeah, same, man. It's a good combo and works well in just about every situation that I can think of. I use it for some contests, and I use it for just whatever. I do a lot of park stuff too. So it's a good deal. And I don't have any boat anchors. I have worked on some tube equipment, but it was way back in when I was doing some CB stuff. Matter of fact, I got knocked completely out by a CB amplifier, and it caused me to black out. Let's just put it that way. But I'm going to turn it back to Steve, and I'm going to QRT. But it's good to hear you guys. Good, I appreciate the invitation and the good camaraderie. And thanks again. And I'll try to get in here if you guys do this on the regular on what is it, Tuesday, Monday? I don't even know what day of the week it is. But I'll try to put it in my calendar and try to get in and chat with you all from time to time if I can. Yeah, Monday the 5th. So yeah, okay. If you do it on the regular, I'll see about getting in here and getting in and do a rag shoot. Anyway, 73's around, and I won't be waiting for a 73 round. So appreciate the time. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll say 73s now and expect it back. Steve, back to you. N4LQ, KR4I, 73.
I got a question. How old are you, Chris? In your 50s?
Now 45.
Okay, you're a little bit younger than my son, N4LQ. Yeah, well, my son, his name is Perry, and he looks. You two guys look like twins. I'm looking at your photograph here on QRZ, and there's a strong resemblance. even the beard and the everything else is just amazing. He's tall. He's 6'7". He towers over me, so I'll never catch up with that. But he has trouble fitting in cars sometimes, and he is a car nut. Anyway. Very good, and 7610, it sounds pretty much like they all do. They cut off at 300 cycles, and you lose all your bass. The 7300 goes down to 150, so it's got more lows. Not sure why ICOM did it that way, but they did. So at the toward the end of your transmission, I opened my filter up. I was at 4 kC, which is each side, and so I opened it up to 6, so you could hear the whole thing and get a better idea of what it sounds like. And I am using synchronous AM on the SDR, so that helps. And the noise reduction, I turned it off because it does change things a little bit, so I turned it off so you could listen to yourself. So it takes about 3 or 4 minutes after the net's over, and that video or that live stream will change to a video. So there you go. 73s to you, and do come back. It's good to have you. Anybody else tonight to check in? The band's getting better and better.
Hey, Chris, if you're still listening, we're on here every night at 8 p.m. Every night.
Yeah, every night, rain or shine. And unless the static was a lot worse last night, and I think we could go all night like this. And I think it's letting up a little bit, and I think the signals are getting stronger also. So yeah, I saw the lightning down there in the southeast, and way out in the ocean, and all over the place out that way. It's funny. It seems like such a waste of rain, doesn't it? To rain on the ocean. K4QE, N4LQ.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. It does seem to be letting up a bit, and that's a good thing. Hopefully we'll get a few more check-ins tonight. Hopefully it weren't, it probably tuned in and heard all the static and got discouraged and went off, but who knows? Maybe they're still listening. So, I have had an ear on the net this morning on 3885, but I was working, so my attention was divided. I thought I heard someone say that Terry is getting out of the hospital or is out of the hospital. So I wonder if there's an update on that. I hope he's doing okay. Keeping him in my thoughts and prayers. Over to you, John, W4JPL, K4QE.
All right, K4QE in the group W4JPL. Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything about Terry, but I think I got out a little early this morning because I had a project to do. I hope he's getting better. That's the last I heard. He's starting to turn that whole thing around. So I'm going to get out of here, fellas. I'm sitting here falling asleep in my chair. So I got to start getting back to my nap for an hour or so in the afternoon so I can stay up till about 9:30 or so. 7-3, God bless. I'll be listening for a few. Over to you, Steve, before JPL. Let me know if you know anything about Terry.
Probably nothing more than what you already heard. The last thing I heard was, I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, that he's in a rehab place, and I guess they're dealing with basic things there, and he was eating some stuff, but I don't know if that's a turnaround or what it is. It's hard to tell. The insurance companies control just about everything these days. So we'll see. That's all I know. So let's see if anybody else wants to check in. N4LQ. Okay. Oh, well. Anyway. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to sound good on the live stream except me. I've got a big old loud hum and all that stuff on it. And it's just all this RF floating around here. I need to figure out where it's coming from, but right now this Valiant is sitting outside of its case, and it's subject to radiate all kinds of garbage all over the room, and it's a good thing there's no TVs around here to cause TVI to. That's a thing of the past. So let's see, what else is there going on? I guess that's about it. So Tony, let's see, I think you're still here, I think, aren't you? K4QE and 4LQ.
Yeah, Steve, I'm still here. And good night to John. And Chris, good night to you. I should probably go on by now, but just in case. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, or I should say the wife does. I'm taking her there, and to follow up with the oncologist. So things are going well in that direction. She's making steady progress every day, which is great, of course. And she has a little bit of ups and downs in terms of pain. You know, that's going to be that way for a while. But she's doing really well. She has full range of motion in her arms. And you know, she's doing okay. She's not going to be driving for a while, so I'm still going to do, you know, pick up the slack. But other than that, we're doing all right. Kids are helping out where they have to, and things are moving along smoothly. So that's all there is to tell about that. That's about all I have for tonight, Steve. I'm glad we were able to get on here despite the QR Nancy. And I'm sorry I didn't get here last night. I had other things I had to do, so I didn't get on. But I will certainly be on here tomorrow night. And I'm always listening in the morning when you guys get on 3885. I can't get involved in the conversation between that and work, so I just keep an ear on it. Hear things as I go along. I can. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I gotta take a phone call or something of that nature. So, but the year's been starting off kind of crazy. They changed up our time system, and it's just been a real mess. Everybody hates putting their time in as it is, and, you know, it's when you go through these convulsions, it just makes it even worse. So, anyway, N4LQ, K4QE.
I remember those days. I'd rather not. Having to get up and go to work. Nowadays, I just get up, and about the time I get up, it's time to go to bed. It seems like the days are just going by like lightning, man. Anyway, you know what they say: time flies like an arrow, and fruit flies like a banana. That's deep. You got to think about that a while. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down then. Sounds like we're about out. The static calmed down, and audio was good on this end from everybody. So we'll save our energy for in the morning on 3885, and then let's see, 3715 net tomorrow a.m. at 9 o'clock, the old Friends net. And Chris, if you're listening, that's a good one to get in on the 3715 kilocycles, all AM. And they're all local yokels here. 73s, good evening. We'll see you later. This is N4LQ. Good night.
Good night, Steve. K4QE.